Namaste to everyone out there. Hi guys, this is Destiny. As I told you guys that I was doing a series. It's going to be a 3-part series on the ego death. When the ego dies, the soul awakens. So I decided to come on back because the information, was already there in me, and I just needed to get it out so I could conclude this video. So guys, I uploaded those videos last night, and earlier today I did part 2, and now I'm bringing to you guys part 3, the conclusion. So my people, let's get started. Welcome again. This is Destiny. My YouTube channel is Destiny Forever Walks. And if this is the first time coming to Destiny Forever Walks, guys, you are special. You have this red carpet treatment, and you can come right on in, get the front row seat, and sit down with me and watch my videos, okay? So to all my subscribers, my friends, welcome again. This is Destiny, and I am concluding the 3-part series to the ego death. When the ego dies, the soul awakens. So I am back now to give you the negative sides and the positive sides, or the effects that you will experience and go through once you put your ego to death. Let's get started. And I'm looking down at some notes here. So here we go. The ego death. When the ego dies, the soul awakens. Part 3, this is the conclusion. Now my people, as I said, there are positive as well as negative effects of putting your ego to death. The ego death can be one of the most beautiful experiences in your life. But yet, still you'll have those ups and those down turmoils, those roller coaster rides that can be very frightening and very upsetting to the mind as well as your body. It's almost like an out-of-body experience. And I don't know if any of you all ever had an out-of-body experience. It's just like you're in your body, but then another way you may feel like you're out of your body and you don't feel like you're all in one piece, just like you're broken into bits and pieces. And you're really not functioning, or you're really not wired to your complete mind and self as well as to the divine creator. That's my way of explaining an out-of-body experience. I have had an out-of-body experience. So my people, listen to this. As I said, the ego death is almost like an out-of-body experience, or it's like your skin. It's just being snatched right off your body. I mean, it's just pulled right off of you. Then there are those moments that you're going to feel this new growth. You're going to feel vibrant. You're going to feel so positive. And there are those moments when you're going to get these power surges, like I'm totally, absolutely just so assured of yourself and you're confident of who you are. You're going to get those moments that are going to sweep through your body, causing you to feel so totally, absolutely in control of everything. You feel so powerful, so dominant, and you feel like, hey, ain't nothing can stop you, and you are a conqueror. That's why sometimes you'll feel that way. And then you're going to feel so supercharged. However, though, the ego death, it can bring you new understanding of yourself and who you are, as well as can bring new approaches into your life. And then, my people, listen to this. At other times, going through the ego death, you will lose the security of who you really are, your true self, your true identity, your purpose, and you're going to lose totally, absolutely control. Sometimes that will happen. And that is so very frightening as well. It's like a nightmare. And you want to get off and you don't know how. You want to get off, but then you're afraid to get off because you still feel the gravitating of your soul, your consciousness, your higher self pulling and warring with that ego to get you out of those traps. And then you hear that voice from the Creator saying, come on, I need you to keep moving. But you want to return to what you're familiar with what you are comfortable with the people that you've always been around. But those things you have shed now. And it's time to let go. Those things has turned and went away from you. They don't acknowledge you. They don't want to spend time with you. They don't even serve you or your purpose. So it's time to let go. So my people, listen to this. Those moments when the ego and the soul is warring to get you, because the ego wants to keep you, and the soul, you belongs to the Creator of this universe. So this war goes on, but you gotta choose. Like the Bible said, you choose this day whom or what you will serve. And you already don't serve the ego. You don't put in the time. Matter of fact, you're on the road to a death sentence. The ego had you in a place where there was no return. But the soul came back and said, give them one more chance. I know they'll hear me this time. So I'm going to knock on their mind. I'm going to shake their bodies. And I'm going to give them a huge, big nudge. And this time you're going to hear and you're going to waken up. And you're going to find yourself not so afraid anymore because you feel like, hey, the universe has me. There's the Creator God, He's with me. And then you will start remembering the words that He said in the Bible. I will never leave you, nor will I forsake you. I will be with you always to the ends of the world, that you are more than a conqueror. You're going to remember all those things. All the positivity is going to begin to surge up in the negative. And all the negative compounds that has kept you low into that place of your ego ways of thinking, it's losing grip and its power now. And then you are not so afraid anymore. But there are those moments that you do feel afraid. And then there are other times going through the ego death, you're going to lose the security of who you truly are. And that can be so very frightening as well. And it's going to be that way for some, and for others it may be a little bit different. But during those times, you will be intimately in touch with your intuitive self. That's the God and the goddess within you. Females, that's the goddess within you. Males, that's the God within you. That's your gut intuition. The gut intuition will never lie to you. It will never lead you astray. So you better listen to your gut intuition and follow your gut intuition. That is the voice and the power of the universe. God, the Creator of all, is pulling you onto the path that He has predestined for you to go on. So my people, at that point and at that moment when you feel the power is surging back within you and you feel yourself standing in the control that the Creator has purpose for you to have, then your soul has awakened. So, I'm going to look down my notes because I want to read all these things to you here about the negatives as well as the positives. So let's be clear and let's understand that there are negatives and there are positive effects to losing your ego in the ego death. Let's jump into this. Now, people, please listen very carefully and very intentionally to what I'm saying. If you got to go back and hit the remind button again and again and again, you need to get this. Please pay attention very closely. Here are some of the positives and the negatives effects to to losing your ego in the ego death. I'm going to give you the negatives first. Number one, people, you see yourself for who you are, and you won't be protected by your ego any longer. And this can be very frightening and very uncomfortable. Number two, you might experience feelings as well as emotions that you have been hiding from for many years. Number three, you will see yourself as a different person with no insecurities and no securities of your ego. And if you've been using your ego for protection, my people, then this can be very shattering. It's like falling apart. Number four, it can make you feel disappointed in who you have been. That's a real one, because I felt that way. I was so disappointed. I was so, at that point, at times I won't understand what was happening, but I felt so disappointed. I'm sorry that I allowed myself to be awakened. I allowed myself to learn all these things because it pulled my friends and my family away from me and distanced our relationship. And I didn't have that anymore. I was out there all alone and by myself. There was no one to talk to, no one to explain what I was going through or what my feelings were. Talk about the new things that the Creator was showing me. You know, I had no one. I felt so alone my whole life, my people. It was just like shattering apart. It was falling apart. It was like no protection. I felt that. Then number four, it can be, or it can make you feel disappointed, like I said, who you have been. That was number four. And I just explained my experience with that. And then the last of the negatives is number five. It can change you psychologically. It can change you psychologically. And then also it can change your thought patterns. Now these are the negative sides, the negative effects of losing your ego in the ego death. Now meditate on that. Now we're going to flip the switch and go to the positives, okay? And that's where the Creator wants you on the positive side of this. So here's the positives of losing your ego in the ego death. Number one, people, you can experience positive feelings in extreme volume. That is good. Yay, thumbs up. Number two, you will see yourself for who you really are for the first time. You're going to say, wow, that person is wonderful. That person is beautiful. That person is authentic. And that person is the real me. You're going to see yourself for who you are for the first time. And it will help you to see what you don't like about yourself. And it also will help you to make changes for the things that you don't like, so you can become that better person, so you can grow to be the best version of whom the Creator has created for you to be. Number three, you will experience emotions that you are not able to feel normally because of the ego. And then you'll be able to get in touch with your whole being. That is the place now. Then you can agree with the divine Creator that you're healthy, that you're whole, that you're wholesome, healed, and complete. You're finally going to experience that in a place like you have never experienced, and you're going to believe it from the inside to the outside. And my people, number four, you'll change the way you view the whole world. You're going to see the world different. And you won't be clouded by your ego's insecurities. You will not be controlled or clouded by the ego's desires. And the last of the positives, my people, is number five. You experience feelings that you have never ever felt in your entire life since you were a little child. You're going to feel like a whole brand new person, and then you're going to start getting more and more excited about who you're becoming every single day, because now you're seeing yourself in a light that you're unstoppable, that you're a powerful person, that you're an overcomer, that you're an achiever. You're more than a conqueror. You're going to start agreeing with everything that the Creator God has been saying about you from the very day that you came into this world. So you're going to see yourself like you've never seen yourself before. And you're going to experience these feelings that you haven't felt since you were a child. You're pure again. You're innocent again. You're now back to your whole complete self. You're not into bits and pieces. Your inner child is going one direction and you're pulling to another direction. And you're not ever, we never be whole with your inner child and you're warring against one another, because you and your inner child are the same. You are one. And you have to make that connection with your inner child. So you experience feelings that you haven't felt since you were a child. And it will allow you to experience a new and a pure mind. It will allow you to experience unconditional love, joy, peace, and light. Oh my goodness. You're just going to feel totally, absolutely brand new. Then you're going to look around and say, hey, I understand what the Creator was saying when he said, behold, I will do a new thing in you. Don't you know it? Then you can answer the Creator God. Say, yes, I know it. I am new. Old things has passed away. And behold, all new things has become. That now I can walk in. That I have the power and control over. Because I no longer allow my ego to run my life and to program me away from my higher and greater self that the Creator created me to be. And now I'm at the place where I have put that ego to death. Because when the ego dies, my soul truly awakens. And my people, that takes awareness. That takes awareness. And what awareness is the beginning of becoming free of the ego. Because then you'll realize that your thoughts and the negative emotions they produce, they are dysfunctional, and they're totally, absolutely unnecessary. See, the ego was playing games, had you up and down, thinking that, hey, all this was normal, all of this was right, was the best thing for you. See, the ego played you, baby. It ran a trick on you. It bamboozled you. It hoodwinked you. It did all kinds of things and programmed you away from your higher, greater self. So my people, listen to this. I'm going to say this again. Awareness is the beginning of becoming free of the ego, because then you'll realize that your thoughts and the negative emotions they produce, they are really dysfunctional and was all unnecessary. So, I'm concluding. When you allow the ego to die, my people, then the soul awakens. So please go back and watch this video again. Go back and compare the negatives to the positives, because they all will happen in the depth of the ego. You're going to have positive effects as well as these negative effects, but you need to know and understand which are in control, which is running your life, which one now that you're stepping in and standing in. And you better be on the positive side, because that is where you'll win and the ego will lose out, lose its power, lose its grip, lose its control, and lose totally, absolutely your beautiful self, because you belong to the divine creator God of the universe. That's it. You belong to him. And now he has you back to the place where you need to be, your higher and greater consciousness state of being. Because when the ego dies, and then the soul awakens, you are soul consciousness. You are God, little children, and children of the Most High God. I'll see you. This is the conclusion of the ego death. When the ego dies, the soul awakens. Part 3, conclusion. Go back and listen to part 1 and part 2. And my people, just play all 3 of these parts of the series and you're going to get a bigger and better understanding about the ego death, the dark night of the ego. You can get so much revelation about who you are in your God consciousness and the goddess within you. Namaste, my lovely people. This is your girl Destiny signing out of here. I'm gonna see you at the next sitting, at the next video, whether it be at your house or mine. Namaste. I love you so much. And to all the wonderful people, the first timers that's been on my channel today, thank you for coming and watching this video. And don't forget to scroll through my channel and through all my content and watch my videos. They will empower you, they will encourage you, and motivate you, and inspire you to become the best version of yourself, of whom the Creator created you to be.